Hello again, everybody. You've reached the checkpoint that is Fast Travel Lounge. Joining me today is my best friend in the entire Discord, Saif. How you going, big fella?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Got a little bit of sniffles, but besides that, I'm fine.
Cool. Shame about the sniffles. Maybe just try blowing your nose. Usually it works for me. Hopefully you keep sniffling throughout the podcast, because the person that we thank that edit this podcast, he loves a bit of a challenge. So do it infrequently, but right up close to the mic. That'd be great, big fella. Thanks.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they're pretty used to those sort of noises when cleaning up a bunch of little metallic tinks going on throughout the podcast. Not sure where those are coming from, though.
Bit rude, but that doesn't matter. I don't want to live in a society where we can't tink metal spoons on glass, but that's what we have to. Maybe I just sort of shuffle around in my seat today. Can't have you getting rusty, But anyway, once again, with the lack of Pat and with my and Seth's lack of game playing, we've decided to shift. Everybody likes Pokemon, and we rank them, and our opinions are right. We got in a couple of complaints about what we said, but you know what? Fuck is. You don't like the tier list, make your own award-winning podcast. So, and because of the rage and the salty tears that we have received over the last 24 hours, we've decided to do another tier list.
And we've decided to go full degenerate because Patrick isn't here to stop us.
Yeah, so we'll be ranking feet in Quentin Tarantino's movies.
No, we've got to wait for Josh to show up for that one.
I thought this was at his request. But no, realistically, no, we are not ranking feet. We are not degenerate. We are actually ranking arcs in the very popular Naruto series. This includes Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. We are not looking at filler arcs. So if you've ever enjoyed a filler arc,
get help.
I want you not only get help, but go find the nearest lake and try to hold your breath underwater for 10 minutes.
We'll also not be covering Boruto for the exact same reasons.
It does not exist as far as I'm concerned. It's a dumb name. I do remember that time when Naruto finished and there was sort of some translation issues with his son being called Bolt. That was fucking hysterical to me, having a kid named Bolt, and then they just changed it to Boruto, and I'm like, it's literally just his name. Dumb bucket. All right, let's get straight into it. Let's not fart ass around as much as we do like to. Arc number 1, The Land of Waves. Let's put this in the trash tier. There's only a couple of waves in this. It doesn't do what it does on the tin at all.
I don't know. I feel like this is more metaphorical in that this is when Naruto started making waves in the manga community.
Good pun. Believe it.
That's a bio.
Nope. We are proud dub watchers. I'm not going to sit here and have you say that. We are a proud Believe It family.
You know what? Anyway. Okay, I'm fine with that. I never had an issue with Believe It.
Funny how he doesn't say it in Shippuden. They really phased it out. Anyway, I believe this arc is about an A tier.
You think so? That's pretty high. I was thinking C tier.
Oh, absolutely not. It's got probably the thing that brings it down is probably the first couple of episodes, because Naruto is a very cocky brat, which is you can sort of understand with the shonen genre. But
it's also him kind of playing it up. He's being a cocky brat to exude that sort of confidence and believe in himself more than anyone else, because as the show goes on, you start seeing that Naruto's biggest denier is himself.
Yeah, it doesn't come across that way. It fucking sounds it fully appreciate it. Like later on, it is explained. But time works in a line. So when you first watch these couple of episodes, it's very fucking annoying. He's a big piece of shit. Sasuke is cooler than him in every single way of the world.
And Sasuke's like super edgy emo kind of in this arc.
Unfathomably based. He is very cool. That scene where Kakashi, well, we think Kakashi gets ripped up by those mist ninja with the chains, and then Sasuke's like, nah, fuck you, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. And then he does so. And all Naruto does is gets poisoned. But yeah, I really like this arc. It is very good for sort of setting the scene. The introductory episodes I'm not a big fan of because Sakura does nothing, Naruto does nothing, and Sasuke kind of tries to carry both of them. But it does get into the gritty ninja world of like Haku and Zabuza just being tools. They're rogue ninjas. They're very strong, but they've got a good bond. We also get a bit of foreshadowing with Naruto sort of getting a bit of the Nine Tails power when he thinks that Sasuke's been killed by Haku, but then through the magic of anime, he couldn't hit any of his vital, or didn't want to hit any of his vital.
Yeah, we also get like the beginning of the Sharingan. Kakashi Shogun gets full potential, and Sasuke starting to unlock it. Yeah,
and having Kakashi's got like the 3 Tomoe, and it sort of really explains the Sharingan in a way that isn't really touched on, how he can read the person's mind type of thing by looking at like little movements and copy anything they can do. That really sort of isn't explored in later seasons, but it's really good how it's done here.
Yeah, it's a very bullshit ability in this arc, and they kind of drop it afterwards. I want to say that maybe put it down in B for 2 reasons I'm thinking of. The first one is I think there's a lot of other arcs that will end up being a lot stronger, and we want to make the division between this and those arcs a little more clear. And also, I think there's a bit of a pace breaker in the middle with the whole explanation of how chakra works and the tree climbing training. Because we go from them getting ambushed to fighting Zabuza for the first time to basically world and lore explanation for a bit with the training, and everything slows down for a little bit, and then there's the whole Naruto meets Haku's segment, and then we get back to the big finale. It's a little bit of a weird pace breaker.
You're right. It sort of is. I do sort of appreciate the world building that they do here.
I do. I just think it came in at a weird spot.
Yeah, it is sort of like, Zabuza and Haku have to recover, or we have to recover. Training montage. I sort of get that. And really, what does walking up a tree have to do with fighting? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, B tier.
B tier. Cool.
Yeah. Actually, as well, this probably will come up a bit later, but there is a lot of difference in episodes. Maybe episodes isn't the right word, and we definitely don't see it here. But there are definitely in later Shippuden episodes, nothing but not the episodes are just padded out with bullshit. So that might impact my recollection of it because it feels like an arc drags, but it only drags because of bullshit flashback.
Yeah, and I am the Chad manga reader, so I don't get hit by those as much.
Yeah, I have read it, but I've watched it a lot more frequently this last year. So if I have to see one more flashback of anyway, yeah, we'll get to that when we get to
the swings.
It's not even the swings, it's the fucking Itachi killing the clan or Kakashi or anything to do with Obito. I'm sick of it. Anyway, move on. The tuning exam.
Easy S.
Easiest S. Don't need to explain ourselves.
But we will for content.
No, we won't. S tier, move on. Anyway, you can explain yourself. But.
I absolutely love tournament arcs. I think they're great. Dragon Ball's tournament arcs set a standard, and everyone's just being... When they're done incredibly well, they are some of the best shonen stuff. And I don't know, it's just a really good display, this arc specifically, of all of the different characters in the show, all of their abilities. And Gaara versus Lee is absolutely one of the peak fights in Naruto. It's incredible how well that fight is done. There's a lot of other great fights, but that is a standout one for a reason. It's one of the best shonen fights that they've ever made.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and there's a bit more world building in here, introducing like other villages to come in and hang out. There's a weird like the Orochimaru thing about like how is Orochimaru allowed to sort of set up the Sound Village, but like criminal, but their sound ninja are still allowed to come over and they're all psychopaths. That's a bit fucking weird. But yeah, the fight scenes are fantastic. The way they split the tuning exams into information gathering, survival, and literally fighting, 12-year-olds punching on, is fantastic.
Yep. And also, is mentioning Orochimaru, this is where they start laying the foundation of Orochimaru as a villain. And
yeah, and Sasuke's quest for power, very true.
Yeah,
very
and
true.
the whole curse mark as well.
Yeah, and it probably takes a good 30 episodes, but Sakura actually does something.
She cuts her hair.
Yeah. She cuts her hair and she sort of gets into a bit of a punch on with the... She does all right against Sound Ninja. The fight with her and Ino is garbage and bullshit, and you can definitely see Kishimoto does not know how to write women.
That shows up a lot in this. Either he doesn't know how to do their characters justice, or he just fridges them entirely. Yeah,
or literally every girl is like, okay, cool, it's been 5 seconds, better mention Sasuke or a boy. What's that test you do? Like if two women in a movie or TV show talk to each other for longer than 10 seconds about something that's not a male, like...
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've forgotten the name of it.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, yeah, they probably hold Naruto doesn't pass that test. Shippuden might, but part 1 Naruto definitely does not. But yeah, tuning exams, definitely S tier. Great character exploration, great world building and scene setting. And then we're up to the Konoha Crush.
I think this is an A tier. I think Konoha Crush is going to start from after the preliminary tuning exams end, so when Naruto meets Jiraiya, all the way up to the end of the Gaara fight.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of that is really great stuff. You start with good character building between Jiraiya and Naruto and his whole training regimen. And
good. I wouldn't say that's good. Jiraiya literally just throws him off a cliff and says, "No, you got to do it." It doesn't really teach me anything. It just teaches him to summon a frog. Like the whole idea of summoning a frog, like why does he have to do it type of thing. Like I understand it sort of sets the scene for later, but it is a very...
Yeah, you're right. It's probably more just I'm thinking of how Jiraiya plays off Naruto later on more than how he does right now.
Yeah, it definitely like is a bit of a... And I sort of understand you sort of have to introduce Naruto and Jiraiya together. But you can pretty much take out what Jiraiya teaches Naruto. And in the Gaara Naruto fight, he does summon Gamabunta. That's sort of needed. But like it doesn't really help him in the tuning exam. It sort of does. He does learn a bit more chakra control.
Yeah, there's a whole learning how to walk on water bit as well.
Yeah, and I don't... it's also weird how Naruto is the son of Jiraiya's treasured student and Jiraiya just never hangs out with him or anything. It's like, oh yeah, you exist. I'm not going to mention it ever. As far as we're aware, they never really spoke about it. So it's pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, the further we get into Naruto, the more Naruto is such a special child gets played up. Like,
it's not even a special child. He's literally fucking abandoned. But anyway, we'll get to that later.
No, not that angle. More like as it keeps going, it's like, yeah, he's the son of the 4th Hokage. Jiraiya is his godfather, and then more and more specialness is thrown onto Naruto's lap later on. But no one acknowledges any of it. Yeah, is the weird part.
It's fucking... So if my parents died in a great war and my dad was a great shinobi and my godfather's a legendary Sanin, why am I living by myself eating expired milk? Also, we didn't mention this. I don't forget that Naruto's first kiss is Sasuke. Always remember that.
Oh yeah. Definitely got to remember that.
Always fucking fun.
And Naruto is Sasuke's first kiss as well.
Very, very funny. But yeah, I kind of know a crush.
Also, we need. I feel like this is an easy A because it gets rid of Hiruzen, the 3rd Hokage, and we later on we know how much of a shitbag he becomes. Like getting into the whole Naruto has to drink expired milk thing. He promised the 4th Hokage that he would look after his son, and then he just ditched him into an apartment by himself.
Who's paying the rent? I guess. Yeah. Why is Naruto always poor? Who looked after Naruto when he was like 1 or 2 years old? Was he? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Getting sidetracked. Yeah, I don't think I agree with it being an A tier. But
I think it's stronger than Land of Waves. But this is a lot of, I really like a lot of the fights that are in this arc specifically. Like the secondary Chunin exam arcs with Naruto and Neji is fantastic. Shikamaru and Tamari is incredible.
Well. Yeah. Hashino and Konkoro had that weird scuffle. Even the first part of the Sasuke Gaara fight in the stadium is fucking sick.
Yeah, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And it sort of does lay the foundation for like why Shikamaru is eventually promoted to Chunin when he's up against all those Sound Ninja. But yeah, cool. Play-ons are cool.
But yeah, are you okay with A, or do you want to push this down?
The more I think about it, the more I think the big problem is I hate the Naruto Gaara fight. It literally becomes like a
kaiju fight.
And
I kind of appreciate that because it's one of the few kaiju fights in the series.
Yeah, but you like kaiju fights. I do not. Especially ones like this where it's just like I turn into a big monster, you turn into a big monster.
I like the additional bonus of Naruto and Gamabunta putting their energy together to form the Nine-Tailed Fox. And it's like the first time we get its like full body on screen, and it's such a big presence when it finally appears.
Yeah. Yeah, let's leave it at A.
Yep. Yeah. I'm completely comfortable with that. Search for Tsunade?
D.
D?
Yep.
I was going to say C, but yeah.
Nah, D. It's fucking shit.
Yeah, it's nothing special.
Yeah, like I can sort of understand, Tsunade's trauma about blood and stuff and getting over it. But it just makes it a shitty plot point.
Naruto also, I think I'm mixing some anime with the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm version and thinking it's cooler than it actually is, because Ninja Storm goes all in on the freeway kaiju Sanin fight.
Yeah, no, there's literally they summon, they sort of look at each other and then they sort of just hug each other. Like the fight is essentially a big nothing. Like there's a couple of things, and we can't also forget that Orochimaru doesn't have his hand at this stage, so he couldn't really do much. Like he pulls out a sword from his mouth and does something cool. And
it rides a lot on Kabuto. And when the peak of this arc is Naruto catching Kabuto's hand to do the Rasengan on him, that's kind of a weak high point compared to the rest of the series.
Yeah, like I do appreciate like how he's in a time of crisis, and using the Rasengan is very uniquely him because he needs shadow clones to do it. And even the training he does for the Rasengan, it's sort of pretty cool. But it's a lot of like, blowing up a balloon. Whoop, he's blowing up a balloon. Whoop, he's blowing up a balloon. But now it's a rubber ball. Whoop, he's blowing up a rubber ball. Whoops. D tier.
Yeah. D tier sounds good.
Yeah. And now, all right. Sasuke recovery mission. What do you reckon?
I'm arguing between S and A.
Easy S tier. Fuck you.
You think S?
Easy S.
Okay, I'll side with that because I was arguing between S, low S, or high A.
No, I reckon it's better than the Chunin exam mark. It's fucking fantastic.
Really? You think it's better than Chunin exams even?
Yep, the introduction of the Sound Ninja 4 and then 5. The introduction of Curse Mark Stage 2 is fucking sick. How the Shikamaru is given his first like leadership position, and sort of understands that he has to sort of leave a friend behind at like each sort of junction. The fights are fucking sick. And how the Sand Ninja as well do their, lack of a better word, a heel turn and come back and like, hey, they're actually good guys now. Base turn.
Heel is when you go evil. Face is when you go good.
Oh, well, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, true. Like face and front, heel at the back. Oh,
yeah.
But yeah, the fights are sick. The fight between Naruto and Sasuke is sick. We get a bit more Sasuke backstory, like the way he's such a cunt. Pardon the French.
Yeah, no, you're right. The more you're talking about, the more I'm agreeing. This is above Chunin exams. Chunin exams, a lot of it rides on the high of Lee versus Gaara, but this has so many more big fights that everyone's putting their body on the line, life on the line. The fact that it ends on a failure is such a blow to everyone.
That's probably the best part about it. Like, and another weird thing. This is probably a criticism of the show as a whole, is that Sasuke doesn't. He left of his own free will. He wasn't kidnapped or anything. So it would have been pretty awkward for like one of them to die. Just be like, bro, I literally like, what are they going to do? Bring Sasuke back? He's going to heal up, and he's going to leave again. Like,
yeah, no, he's just going to keep leaving over and over again, no matter how many times you try to bring him back.
Yeah, so
this is a mistake he has to learn to make.
Is it a mistake? Anyway, yeah, and that sort of last sort of scene where like Sasuke's standing over Naruto, and he's like, and he can remember Itachi's words, like, "Oh, you got to kill your best friends," and Sasuke's like, "You know what? No,
I'm gonna find my own way."
Yeah, that's pretty fucking sick. And it is also
it
cool
plants the seeds that he's not as far gone as you think he is.
Yeah, but it is pretty cool how he doesn't want to put on his headband, and then he's like, "No, you're not going to scratch my forehead." And then he's like, "You know what? Fuck it, I will put on my headband to recognize you." And Naruto's final blow is a big scratch on the headband.
Yeah,
yeah, it's quite poetic in that kind of sense. It's very good.
Naruto could have. There's an argument to make that Naruto could have won if he didn't go for sending that message.
I don't think it was a message to send. I think it was just he had the opportunity and he struck out. That was it. Anyway, hang on. There's a plane flying overhead. Fuck, that one gave me a bunch of brave films. Nah, it's gone. All right, so should we just have a sort of not a recap? I don't want to just retell the list of what we done, but Naruto as a whole, where do we stand? Like, is it good?
I think so. I think there's more good than bad for the first part, I guess, of Naruto. Like, Naruto before Shippuden, it's not the greatest, but it's fairly strong, and the parts that are, like, the peak of this part are some of the best shonen stuff, I think. There's a reason why Naruto lasted so long.
Definitely. Yeah, you are right. It does have some weak points, like the Search of Tsunade and
Land of Waves kind of going through the growing pains.
Yeah, and that's probably just because of its immaturity. It's probably
yeah, it's more trying to find its place in the shonen world.
Yeah. Like, there's probably something to be said if it started a bit slower and didn't send him straight out of the village. Like maybe if they did like a weird graduation type of thing to introduce all the other characters. But no, the Land of Waves is like pretty solid sort of start, and the Sasuke retrieval arc is fucking fantastic and does sort of set up why there needs to be a time skip.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not just like, oh, there's some big bad guy that's got to fight. It's like, oh yeah, my friend's fucked off. I have to go get stronger to take him back. Regardless of whether it was his own free will or choice or was he brainwashed. But yeah. All right, so that brings us to Shippuden. The Kazekage rescue mission.
Now, this one I'm going to say maybe C.
I was thinking about giving it a D tier, but I think I'm biased because of the anime towards the end of it is literally just a bunch of fucking flashbacks, and it's not very good.
Yeah, if you take out all the flashbacks that are anime only, it's paced a lot better, and I think it's better than Search for Tsunade by a fair bit, but not as good as Land of Waves. This is... Yeah, no, it's just an okay arc.
Yeah, it has a lot of potential. It's very cool to sort of see everybody again. Like, the first, 3 or 4 episodes where it's like Naruto and Sakura versus Kakashi to get the bells, that's like the highlight of the arc because it shows their growth.
Yeah. I also kind of like Deidara versus Gaara, like this whole big battle over the sand village and Gaara having to protect the entire village because Deidara is about to blow up the entire thing just to try and push him into a corner. Yeah,
it does show definitely the growth of Gaara as well, just because he's no longer controlling sand on his back, he's controlling the entire sand.
Yeah, and Gaara being a Kazekage now is also a very good call to make.
It is, yeah. It sort of reminds you that he was a monster and and it sort of sets up this whole Jinchuriki thing as well. And it's like, oh yeah, he has a monster inside of him as well. We know that from part 1, but in part 2, it's sort of like, oh, it's actually a a tailed beast and somebody else wants it. It's not just a monster for the sake of being a monster. But it sort of does. It doesn't really capitalize anything. Nothing of value is lost because Chio, a character that was introduced in this arc, gives her life for Gaara, and nothing really changed.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over it because it was in the middle of another arc, I guess, for the Search for Tsunade. But this is where they start expanding more on the Akatsuki. In Search for Tsunade, we get introduced to
very true.
Kimimaru, I think his name is, the shark guy.
Kisame. Kimimaru is the bone guy.
That's right. Yeah, so Kisame and Itachi get introduced in Search for Tsunade. They make an impact. Might Guy has a great fight with Kisame.
He does. Yeah, even the fight between Sasuke and Itachi just sort of really cements that. It sort of sets up that next arc. You are right. Yeah, we didn't really touch on that. And
this just further reintroduces the Akatsuki as a threat and starts their whole storyline of trying to gather all the tailed beasts.
Yeah, and I still remember when they're doing that weird holograph projection thing.
Yeah.
And Pain sort of has his splacky, and everyone's like, no, the Pain's Minato. It's Naruto's dad. He's the leader of Akatsuki. I remember all those. Man, that was 2005 or 2006 or something. Everybody's fucking crazy.
Yeah, all of the Akatsuki and character reveals. Man, fandom got really into it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the Kazekage rescue arc as a whole, it sort of sets a couple of things up. I think it's pretty average. But yeah, that's why it's solid C tier.
Yeah. Now, Tenchi Bridge, I think we go even further down. I think this one might be an E.
Yeah, 100%.
It has a cool moment of Naruto going into the Four Tails fighting against Orochimaru. But other than that's
probably its savior. That's the only reason it's not an F or in trash.
Yeah.
It is fucking garbage.
And Sai gets introduced in this arc, and he's kind of a shitbag the entire time and not fun to interact with. Yamato's kind of straight-laced.
Well, even when Sai does turn around, let's talk about Sai. It doesn't really make... It sort of makes sense, but he's an emotionless sort of thing, and he tries to trick everybody because he wants to kill Sasuke. But the sign of I want to see what pushes Naruto, so I'm just going to stop following orders. It is kind of it's the first sort of aspect of Naruto's talk no jutsu. And it's weird. They could have done it in a different way, and I sort of understand. It seems like they played the Sai's ultimate goal card too early, and it's just sort of Naruto going, "Oh yeah, no, it'll be fine. Join us," and then he sort of joins up, and then
and Sai kind of becomes a non-character after this.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. He does a couple of things in a couple of later arcs, but he's a big player, a big focus of this arc, and all right. Thanks for playing, big fella.
Yeah, I don't think he does anything of note until the 5 Kage Summit arc. And even then, it's just Sai talking to Naruto. That's his big thing for that arc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's an arc and a half.
Yeah,
it is. And that whole Yamato is really cool now. He's got wood style and that type of thing.
Yeah, and being able to suppress the tailed beast.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And probably that part with the Orochimaru is the only fucking thing saving it, because that's sick. But it's... Yeah, it is cool how we sort of finally get to see Sasuke, but it's... nothing really happens. He sort of just trades a couple of blows, and it's I'm going.
Even then, I think that's Storm doing most of the work for that, because the fight with Sasuke in Storm 2 is heavily played upon, and they do a lot of cool flashback sequences in that game. And in the manga and anime, it's just, I use Kirin, I'm leaving.
Yeah, it's hey, Sasuke, knock it off. We're not doing that. Refuses to elaborate, leaves. And it is sort of cool. It does plant Sasuke's grown fucking a lot. He's very strong.
Yeah, he's run circles around Naruto's growth. Because Naruto coming back, his growth is shown as, I made Rasengan bigger.
Yeah, and I can sort of tap into the tail beast a little bit. fucking nothing. He doesn't do anything. But yeah, E tier. It's essentially like it's another one of those. At the end of the, nothing really changes. Like they introduce Sai and Yamato, and then they finish the arc. They didn't capture Kabuto or Sasuke. They didn't do anything with the Orochimaru. They went there, nothing happened, and they came back.
Yeah, it feels like a waste.
Yeah, because it fucking is. But yeah, there's no need to fucking keep going.
The Katsuki suppression mission is an A.
So I don't like how it's called the Akatsuki suppression mission because it's also apparently known, according to Narutopedia, known as the Immortal Devastators, Hidan and Kakuzu, and that sounds fucking sick. I don't know why.
I've always known it as the Immortals arc, but apparently it's called Akatsuki suppression mission.
Yeah, which is weird because not really suppressing anything. They sort of just hang out and come out. The Akatsuki come to them. I'm going to knock this down to a B tier only because it is once again another Naruto comes in to save the day. Like the fight between Osama and Hidan is fucking sick. The emotion when he dies, it's probably it's the first character death we see on screen that isn't an enemy, I'm pretty sure.
The third Hokage.
Third
and
Hokage.
Technically Gaara.
And Chio as well. Comes back. Like there's no penalty for that Gaara one. Comes back.
Yeah, but in the moment of his death, it hits a bit, and then they pull the Chio thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but then like an episode later, it's like, nah, fine. But yeah, you're right. It just sort of there is Hiruzen Sarutobi that dies first. But yeah, it was very, very touching. And then Shikamaru was like, no, we're going for revenge. Let's go. And there's a couple of things that get censored in between the manga and the anime with Shikamaru smoking. So I'm not sure if you know this, Seth, but in the manga, when Hidan's in that pit thing with all the explosive tags, Shikamaru lights a cigarette, takes a drag, and then throws a cigarette in. But in the anime, he lights a lighter and puts a lighter in.
Okay, I thought he threw the lighter both instances, but I thought in the manga he took the drag.
Or maybe he did then. But like it's just how they show smoking as well.
Yeah.
There's also another scene where he's like smoking at a grave, and it doesn't really show the smoke. Well, it doesn't show him having a puff on the graveside. It's a very weird thing. But
probably for age rating stuff.
Yeah, it sort of just loses impact a little bit.
So I'm going to take your arguments and kind of twist them into why I think it's an A tier. So first of all, yeah, the Asuma and Hidan fight is incredibly sick, and in that moment, it's a death that I feel like might be the death that hits the hardest in the show, and they spend so much time going over the downfall of it and why Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji are so affected by it, and it becomes this whole revenge story for them. And I like that this is an arc that focuses on a team besides Team 7.
It's a bit of a palate cleanser.
Yeah, right. And even though it does end with Naruto being the savior against Kakuzu, I think it's paid off well because we spend a lot of time on Naruto developing this new technique using the learning how to channel wind chakra. So I think it's a really good payoff for that. And Kakuzu fighting everyone else is a really well done fight. Kakashi does a lot of work against him and takes out so many of his hearts. But also Hidan in general is a very fun character. And the fact that Shikamaru gets him to himself is a good enough payoff that I don't mind Naruto getting the W against Kakuzu. Yeah,
because Kakuzu had 5 lives and Shikamaru takes out 1 with that blood trick.
Yeah.
Naruto takes out 3. Kakashi takes out the final one or something. You're right, that is pretty cool, and it closes the loop on the nature manipulation thing, even though nature manipulation doesn't really come into play again for quite some time.
Yeah, it's kind of always there because there's always been fire style, water style, and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just they went a little deeper into, everyone has an affinity for a certain style sort of thing.
Yeah, and if you use like lightning style on wind style, they cancel out. Well, so lightning style wins, but if you use wind style on fire style, they get like powered up and all that kind of stuff. It sort of does show that 5 elements type of. It doesn't really. The filler arc right after this explains not explains, but goes into more chakra affinities, chakra nature kind of stuff. But it's still fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. Where does it sit though?
I want to put it on A, but not too high. I'm going to put it underneath Konoha Crush. And if other things come along, we can move it down to B.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, but let's do that. That's a good idea. All right, next up, the Itachi Pursuit arc.
Now, this is one I'm going to have to lean on you for because I skipped this one.
You skipped this one. So, from my understanding,
I've seen the parts where Sasuke forms his team. Like he's going around and getting Karin,
Jugo and Suigetsu.
Yes, those guys as well.
Yeah, there's a weird. There's a weird like anime only vibe to a couple of these episodes as well, where it, like sort of in the manga, it's literally like the next page over. It's like, oh yeah, cool, we've met Suigetsu, and that's it. Whereas in like the anime, he's like, no, I want to get Zabuza sword. Let's go find that. And they have to fucking bullshit around for that for a while.
Yeah. So the reason I skipped this one was because I was watching this on the anime, and the website I was using just started going. It's using Japanese. It's using the Japanese dub. And Spanish subtitles instead of English subtitles.
Oh, Jesus.
And then it started skipping episodes as well, so I got lost and had to pick up the manga, which was at getting to the end of the 5 Kage Summit arc.
Oh, man, you really, you fucking missed a lot.
I've done my research and everything and seen bits and pieces for all the other arcs and well informed enough on them. But it's the Itachi Pursuit arc that I've got the biggest blank spot on.
I'd probably say this is a D tier because nothing really. It sort of is cool getting. The only thing saving it is Sasuke, number 1, defeating Orochimaru. That's a pretty cool fight.
Yeah, no, that fight is sick.
Yeah, even if it is a tad short, what it could have been. But having him form together his group heavy, despite the fact that Karin is once again a woman character, which means she is written as complete fucking trash. Fucking shit. Like, anyway. Infuriating.
Are you sure it's D? Because this is starting to sound like E to me.
Well, it's the formation of that team and bringing Orochimaru down is like probably what knocks it up. And that's cool because it's like, Sasuke definitely, like, this is it. We're on the way to beat Itachi. We know why he put all these characters together. Suigetsu's got some weird water bullshit that he can do. Jugo's the origin of the curse mark, and he sort of interacts with Sasuke like that.
And he's got some backstory with Kimimaro.
Yeah, and that's sort of why he's following Sasuke. And that's pretty cool. But then it's pretty much like, yeah, cool. We're hunting Itachi, and then it's like flashback to Konoha, and it's like, you know what? Let's go look for Itachi too. We'll probably find Sasuke that way. And it's like, you never thought to do that before. What the fuck, man? So it does sort of become this weird parallel story of who's going to hit Itachi first. And spoiler alert, Sasuke does, with the provider that Itachi implants a fucking crow into Naruto for some genjutsu bullshit later on.
The Deus Ex Machina that'll happen later.
Yeah.
Because this starts playing the seeds of Itachi was 5 steps ahead of everything.
It's not even 5. He was playing a different game, man. We're playing chess while he's playing fucking poker or something. I don't know. Different breed. And there's also the fight with Daidara as well. You can't really forget that. That's a fantastic fight.
That happens as well.
Yeah, and this sort of follows chakra nature as well. Like, is in, my lightning style cancels out your earth style. All the best, big fella, I've won. teleports behind you. It was actually a genjutsu. Toward the end of that fight's fucking weird, but 90% of it's cool. And that's probably why I'll bump it up to a D tier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it was just the heavy formation arc and the search for Itachi, it'd be E or an F. But Sasuke versus Idea is fucking. And now he does it does some very cool stuff. It does also introduce. I think he's introduced in a previous arc, but it introduces Toby.
They have to introduce Toby here because he's Data's new partner since Sazori died.
And the way they introduce him is, I don't know why he was introduced like this. Like they're having this goofball character, but so he can put up an appearance. But then a bit later on, we find out he's actually
he drops that pretty fast.
Goofiness. Like it just doesn't make sense, and it's never like, oh, I was playing Toby because I needed to do something. It's like, oh, it turns out I'm not that character, and there's no explanation why, and there's no reason for it to do it either. Like, what's the difference between him leading the Akatsuki or Pain leading the Akatsuki? Which is a bit later on, I get, but it just fucking irked me. God damn, dumb fucking plot hole. But yeah, Itachi Pursuit D tier, bottom of D tier so far. And now we've got probably one of the arcs of all time. The Tale of Jiraiya the Gallant, which is Jiraiya going to the village hidden in the rain and having a big showdown with Pain. And you get a bit of his backstory as well.
Yeah, I love this. I'm having a bit of a hard time trying to place where this arc should go because it's a relatively short one.
It is pretty short. And I sort of do, as much as I don't like backstory and flashback, if you have to tell the story by a flashback, then what the fuck are you doing? You can sort of do things better. In my opinion, anyway, as someone who's never written a story in his life.
I feel this one gets away with it because it's telling Jiraiya's life.
Yeah, and then how he turns out that he trained Pain, Conan, and Nagato, and then they're all in the Akatsuki. They're all.
I feel like this starts the beginning of all these parallels between Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, between so many different groups throughout the years.
Yeah, definitely. And I sort of do like how they set up.
I guess they kind of start that with the legendary sign-in with Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru. But this starts going even further down that road of, it's just continually being these generations all have a Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura.
Yeah, there's always three. There's always a medic. There's always a snake. There's always a goofball. It is very short. I'm looking at the episode list now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes. Across like 15 different chapters. 15 chapters. But that's good. It's short. It's succinct. It's no bucking around.
Yeah, it tells a really great story, a really great fight. Yeah, the ending hits hard. Yeah,
I probably the only thing I don't like about it that as the viewer we're told Pain's secret earlier than what we should. Like, there's no. It's like, oh, how's he doing it? And then literally probably like the end of the episode, the start of the next one. Oh, that's how he does it. He can see all of them. There's no guessing.
Do you think maybe that was done differently in the manga?
No, I did not think so.
Okay.
It probably does. It probably does take like a little bit longer, like 2 weeks instead of like 1 week, just because of manga release time. But it's still very fun.
Yeah.
But that's maybe at the time, and you've got to remember as well. When I read it, I wasn't reading it week to week. I was like
blitzing
I'll read a chapter. Yeah. Well, I'll read like a chapter every time I go poop or something.
Yeah.
I read it, or if I'm sort of just sitting on the lounge, like, I want to read something.
Yeah. Man, Shonen Jump's become so much more accessible these days with the fucking app as well.
Yeah, gone are the days where I was on, I think it was called like Manga Reader, and then I had to sort of download the things individually, and sometimes they'd be back to front, sometimes they'd be in Spanish.
I was on good old Manga Fox.
Yeah, that was a good one as well. Yeah. What was that? Mangareader.net was another one that I was using, but I didn't always have an internet connection. So I needed to download it. Oh, man. But still not all mangas run. Give me a way to read Hajime no Ippo legally, and I will. But I'm not going to. Anyway, where does this lead us at the tail of Dry the Gallon?
Top of A, I'd say.
Yeah, high A tier. Better than Konoha Crush.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah. I think we don't get. I think the being short as this thing works in its favor. More should be like this. Also introduces Sage Mode as well. Yeah,
Sage Mode is such a sick transformation.
Yeah. Maybe not for Dry. It gets really Cody. All right. The next one, we can just put this one. Actually, this is a fated battle between brothers. This is Itachi versus Sasuke. Another sort of short arc, but it is half filled with bullshit flashbacks. And it does sort of explain a bit more about Itachi, about why. Towards the end of it, actually, it explains why Itachi did what he did. But it is still very cool. The fight is very fucking cool as well.
Yeah, no, the fight between Itachi and Sasuke is sick.
Yeah. It's so fucking cool. Like, how he uses all the flames to set up some smoke, and then the rain clouds come, and it's like, no, cool. Remember, I can do lightning, so fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then he forces the Susanoo out for the first time.
Yeah. First bullshits of the Mangekyo Sharingan are explained, like.
Man, the Mangekyo Sharingan is so bullshit when you get into all of the powers it gets.
Yeah, and don't forget as well that like Itachi was apparently dying by this stage.
Yeah.
So he was on like a shit ton of drugs, and that's why he didn't use the Tsukiyomi. But like it's when you think of it like that, it's like Sasuke really had a leg up on this fight. Like Itachi was literally like borderline on life support, popping pills to get there, and Sasuke's like, I'm in.
And no matter what, Itachi was never going to kill Sasuke. He didn't have it in him to kill his younger brother.
Yeah, no, he never would have. That's the whole thing.
They start revealing that his entire life was to push Sasuke into this position of hating him, so that he'd deal the final blow eventually.
Yeah, and don't forget, I think this is the so while the Sasuke Itachi fight's happening, Naruto and the gang are still looking for Itachi to go find him, and they encounter Toby, and then Toby is like, no, I talk in a deep voice now, and I'm actually really strong because all attacks go through me. So and he does sort of have more of a serious vibe, and that's sort of the beginning of the, hey, what's going on with this guy? Who is this guy?
Yeah, they immediately drop the axe after Deidara dies.
Yeah, like why do they do that? Fucking strange. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this arc, fantastic, great fight. Probably a bit more backstory than what we want. But then I can't decide. I'd say
high A as well.
I'd say low A, only because like the first part of the Itachi Sasuke fight is just genjutsu bullshit.
Okay, so I'd say under Konoha Crush.
Yeah.
You know what? And now that this is starting to get a bit bloated.
Yes, we're doing it. B tier, baby. We're finally kicking out the Hidan Kakuzu arc. I knew we'd get that. Even then, I might think of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's also cool at the end of it how Sasuke reckons he's Mangekyo. After learning about Itachi, and he's like, wait a minute. Itachi was my best friend. In a way.
Yeah.
Wait. And then, yeah, there's also that bullshit where like Toby reveals himself and it's like, no, Itachi implanted an Amaterasu into your eye, so it would automatically activate when you saw me. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Beyond the grave bullshit.
Oh man, Itachi and Beyond the Grave is going to keep coming up over and over.
Yeah. Very good. Why did he kill him off then if he was going to do something? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, okay, that's that.
He's not going to stay dead for long.
He'll be back. All right. Pains of Soul arc, easy S tier. Let's move on.
Oh.
Yeah? Why is it not S tier? Why? You don't like the mega cool fight between Naruto and
it's
Pain? You don't like
so-
the fact that there is
so
a real
much-
world consequence with the Leaf Village being wiped out?
so much of it is
Yeah.
so cool and peak Naruto, but I don't like the resurrection at the end.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but like you got to remember, this is a shonen anime. No one really dies. Like,
Yeah,
Or if they do, they
I
get come
can't
back,
hold
like-
it against the arc too much. It's just it feels personally. I don't like the whole everyone dying doesn't matter because Pain gave his life to resurrect everyone angle.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
But
it's bullshit. And like,
every-
how much chakra did he have to use to actually bring them back? Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but
100%.
everything before that is peak and top of S.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Sage Naruto is the best Naruto ever looks.
Yep. He's literally just got a cape on and he fucking looks fantastic. And also, don't forget, this fight starts with Sasuke versus the Eight Tails. And it's the
Yes.
introduction of the best character in the anime, Killer Bee.
Killer Bee is so fucking good. I love him.
Yeah. And he uses
And-
like 8 swords and he fucking wrecks Sasuke shit, something fucking fierce.
And he
Oh.
also introduces the concept of like being in tune with your tailed beast and
Yeah, he
actually being
does,
able to
yeah.
fully transform into it and still have your sense of self.
Oh, well, technically, doesn't the couple of the anime arc that explain, I think it's the 2 tails and the 6 tails, they do some weird bullshit. But yeah, that doesn't count. It's
Yeah, those
first
don't
time
count.
we're saying-
We're only talking canon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is canon. You're right. Yeah, yeah. It's fucking sick. And he's always speaking in rhyme. Like they even in the dub, they make all of his things rhyme. It's so fucking sick.
Yeah, no,
They-
Killer
they-
Bee is such a fun character.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good. Yeah. Yeah, but then Naruto versus Pain, the destruction of Konoha. Hinata trying to save Naruto and then getting her fucking shit wiped. The confession of love as well.
Yeah,
and then
and
Naruto
That
going
breaking
absolute
Naruto
fucking-
into becoming the Six Tails and absolutely demolishing Pain
absolutely fucking logged him. Yeah.
to the point that the anime turned Pain into a Looney Tunes character.
Yeah, literally, like it's the Toon Force was very strong. Like, all right, had enough kicking the shit out of him. That's right. Yeah, and then we get a bit of backstory as well with Naruto and meeting his dad for the first time because of some
Yeah,
after death bullshit. I put my chakra in you so we can meet. I can tell you the story of your birth and
yeah. Once you reach a certain point in letting out the tailed beast life force, I'm gonna kick in and put a lock back on.
yeah, like, that was cool. But he's like, I don't have much time with you. Let's spend let me just tell you a lot of things, like the story of how we got the 9-tailed. Yeah. Wait, is that then or is that later?
No, it's then. It's then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. I did fucking sick. Yeah. Now we yeah. It is very cool. It is very bullshit though. Towards the end, how it's talk no jutsu to get everyone revived. And then I still don't really think the argument that Naruto gives sort of holds up as like, oh, we're sibling students. I'm going to bring peace to the world. And he's like, you know what? I believe you. Bullshit no jutsu. Bring everybody back to life.
Yeah, the end of the arc is it's not great.
It's
It's a lot of bullshit running to hand wave all of the devastation that happened beforehand, but
yeah.
all of that devastation, all of the fights, it's all fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. And yeah, you actually get to see like Naruto be a hero like when he finishes and everyone's like, whoa, man, fuck, you're fucking sick.
Yeah, we all love you now. No more expired milk for you.
Yeah, no more expired milk.
Only the freshest milk for you now.
Straight from the cow. No pasteurization needed. But yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm not just comparing it to the Sasuke recovery arc.
You know what? I think we should put it below because Sasuke recovery is solid throughout, while Pain has that one major blank spot at the end.
Yeah, like there's definitely a way where like it could have been like how Kakashi dies and he meets his dad type of thing, and then he actually comes back. Like you sort of admit that has a lot of impact, and then it's like, oh hey, back to life. Yeah, they could have killed like one or two people, even if they are like shit minor characters. Like, it would have been cool if Kakashi died just to sort of push Naruto forward.
Yeah, but they've also just hammered in that Jiraiya died, and that's why Naruto's gone this way. Like, he's gone and trained in Sage mode. He's become more serious, and he's taking the legacy on his back.
Yeah, that's true. We just didn't have a major death. And with Itachi's death as well, I guess.
Yeah, so they've been killing characters.
Give me penalties. Give me consequences for my actions.
Yeah, that's the big...
Give me consequences.
That's the big issue with the Pain Assault arc. It has a lot of cool shit, but there's no consequences for anything Pain did in this arc specifically.
Oh, technically, like, Tsunade's out of action for a while. And that sort of allows the rise of Danzo, but at the same time, like...
But Danzo's instantly taking care of the next arc.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, yeah, well, let's get into that. Next arc. The 5 Kage Summit.
This is pretty sick as well.
Yeah? Give me 2 reasons.
Not as sick, but pretty sick.
Give me 2 reasons.
Mostly it's just for the Sasuke fighting the Kage, like him getting in over his head.
That is cool.
Yeah, no, he's got the Mangekyo Sharingan. He's fought Killer Bee and failed at capturing him, but he still thinks he's hot shit and goes straight to the Kage and thinks he can take them all out.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a plan behind it, but he's in way over his head. He thinks he can do it, and he gets his shit pushed in for trying to do it.
I don't like the fight is cool. It's fantastic. The rationale behind it is fucking dog shit. Like, what's he here for?
To cause anarchy. This is like the worst Sasuke gets.
But it's just the weirdest way to cause anarchy. It's like, okay, all the strongest ninja are here. I'm just going to show up and get the shit kicked out of me. Surely, maybe it is like a weird, arrogant thing that I missed. But it literally just feels like just showing up just to rock the boat, and is surprised when he gets the shit kicked out.
Yeah, I think he's riding the high of getting his Mangekyo Sharingan after killing Itachi, and he's on this whole big vendetta mission now that he knows that the Hokage is basically the reason why Itachi died and the Uchiha are gone. So he just wants to get his revenge on all the Kage at once now that they're all together. It's like the perfect opportunity to just strike them all at once. And it's not a well thought out plan. He's very arrogant, and I kind of like that about the arc.
Yeah, but I still do not like it.
It's not going to go S tier. It might not even be A tier. But I just want to sing some of its praises a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this is also the arc where Sakura tries to do her bullshit "I love you, Naruto" line.
It does. I was just about to bring that up. That is the worst part of the series. It's literally...
No, it's so good because Naruto shoots her the fuck down. I'm so proud of him for doing that.
Yeah, it is good for that kind of sense. But then at the same time, I think it's just it's such fucking bullshit. Like, and literally in the previous arc, we've had Hinata confessing her love to him.
And it lands.
Yeah, that lands very good, but this one obviously doesn't. But it literally comes down to that, the only thing that a girl character or a female character can do in Naruto is literally just love somebody. It's not fucking cool.
Yeah, and this is the worst. This is the worst of it as well because Sakura also runs into Sasuke and has her chance to do him in, and she can't because she loves him.
It's been 2.5 years. Oh yeah, that's fucking bullshit as well. And there's also the introduction, like the Mizukage, that May or whatever her name is, the lava style girl.
Yeah, she's her style is sick. Her design is sick. Her entire character is basically she just wants a guy, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, I'm too old for marriage. And it's fucking hell, man. It's fucking shit. Tsunade's probably the only good written female character in the series.
And even then, she's not that great written.
Yeah, like that's saying something. She's a shit character at all. It is cool, like the declaration of war that Toby, who has now called himself Madara Uchiha. And he's like, I'm going to put you all under a Genjutsu. Fuck you.
Yeah, and I think they end off this arc with the reveal of Sasuke getting the Eternal Mangaku. Like, he's stolen Itachi's eyes and implanted them into his own.
I think it's sort of, heal, is that the right word? But yeah, it's sort of it
inherited, I guess.
Yeah, it does sort of finish up with that fucking sick Sasuke versus Danzo fight, but it really hammers home that the Sharingan is actual bullshit. Like the whole Izanagi, I imagined I didn't get hit. I didn't get hit. Fucking boom, my moment.
Yeah, Izanagi is such a bullshit ability. It's just like, oh, you killed me, but not really. I'm just gonna slip back in time and give up one of my eyes. It's a good thing I stole every single Uchiha eye from the coup.
Yeah, like it's definitely like, the ice on my arm, not really losing anything.
He's got a sick design though in using the Sharingans all up his arms. It's such a bullshit ability.
Do you reckon he's got a Sharingan on his ass or something? That'd be pretty funny. No, okay.
I don't want to think about it. Let's leave it at that.
You know what? You're probably right. But that's fine. So where does it sit? Keeping in mind that this. Well, keep in mind as well that this arc technically ends in the Killer Bee versus Kisame arc. Oh, sorry, to fight, which is fucking sick. I'm not sure. It's a weird fight because Kisame is like, water. You want to drown? And that's half the fight. But it is still pretty cool.
I think this arc also has the confrontation between all of the members of Team 7, or is that the start of the next one?
No, it does. It does. No, it does have that. That's sort of like towards the end.
Yeah, I thought so. That ends out this arc. So yeah, I also think it's pretty neat for having that moment, but they all just kind of look at each other and then Sasuke leaves.
Yeah, and there's that weird, you were going to kill her, weren't you, Sasuke? Because he was fucking her. Naruto was going to kill, Sasuke was going to kill Sakura.
Oh, this is also where he gets rid of all of the members of Team Taka, like sacrifice them to the Kage and basically shit canned Karin.
Yeah, he like stabs right through her. And it's like, hey, Sakura, if you want to join me, you got to kill Karin. And he's like, oh shit, man. It really shows like the descent into darkness.
Yeah.
But where does it sit?
Okay, after thinking about those extra things, I'm thinking maybe middle of B, underneath the Immortals.
I'd agree. Actually, yeah, another thing that really sets the scene for this. Actually, I'll say high B, and let me explain. High B, sorry. Let me explain why. There is that scene after Toby, or now we know as Madara Uchiha, explains to Naruto what's going on with the whole Itachi thing, and Sasuke's gone to the 5 Kage summit and is being a fucking degenerate. And then as Naruto's thinking about what to do next, he has a panic attack. It really and he passes out, and that really shows that these kind of thoughts weigh heavy on Naruto. He's not going to be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Everything's going to be fine. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's okay, but I don't think it puts it above Immortals.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough to put it above Immortals.
Actually, technically, according to Narutopedia, that the Team 7 reunites part happens at the start of the next arc, not this one.
Okay, so
maybe even drop it below the Land of Waves.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe put it into C. Give Kazekage rescue mission a buddy. Yeah.
It is the sort of, it's the start of an arc. It's the start of the Ninja War, but like it's the rationale behind it doesn't sit. The fights are sort of cool, and it is always a joy to see Sasuke get the shit kicked out of him. But there's too much of Sasuke getting the shit kicked out of him, and it's like, I'm just gonna bite Karin. She's gonna heal me. And then it's bullshit. then there is bullshit Sharingan shenanigans as well.
Yeah, I've also gone onto the Narutopedia now because for
You're a fucking cheat.
the next 3 arcs, I need to know the distinct what is happening in these arcs parts, because
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know where to cut them off is the thing, because the entire war just blends together for me.
You're very true. So the next arc is what's it officially called? The 4th Shinobi War Countdown. And this starts from the reunion. Team 7 reunion. That's having fun spoke there. The reunion of Team 7 and that whole conflict between Sasuke and Naruto, and we'll have to kill each other type of thing. We'll never understand. And Sasuke thinking we'll never understand each other. And then it goes all the way.
We also get the revelation of Kabuto being a snake sage now.
Yeah, and the arc finishes with Toby getting Madara getting the Rinnegan in his right eye.
Left.
Sorry. The picture I'm looking at, he's facing me. So yes, it would be left. Yeah. So he's got Pain's Rinnegan and he's putting it in, and he's got a new mask, and the mask is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, this is also where they fridge Conan, which is a shame because I really like her. And
female character, she was never going to last.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
She tries to put up a fight, but then plot no jutsu happens for Madara, and he kills her off screen, I think. In the manga, anyway.
It sort of is off screen. It's like she's like, I've set these explosions to go for 5 minutes straight, and I know you can't survive it. And then the explosions happen, and then it's like the next scene is him going, "Hey, man, you nearly killed me." But then I think she gets caught up in the explosions or something. It's pretty fucking wild. But
it's a decent fight.
It is a decent fight. It is still pretty cool.
There's also where Kisame officially dies to Guy.
Yeah, that fight's pretty sick. This is that whole. They don't want to tell Naruto that the Shinobi War's like going to be happening quite soon because they don't want to involve him, and that's completely understandable. The rationale is there.
Yeah. That him and Killer Bee are put off onto this isolated turtle island so that the Akatsuki can't get their tailed beasts. Yeah.
And it's also very convenient that Naruto can train here and get in touch with the Nine Tails and make friends with the Nine Tails, essentially.
Yeah, and he has his meeting with his mother.
Yeah, and then she explains a lot more things. It just seems like it's your mum's dead, but hang on, here she is again, and you can talk with her for ages. And yeah, I don't really. It just sort of seems like a way of telling the story to Naruto to make sure he's across everything. But
yeah, this isn't a strong arc, but I don't think it's Tenchi Bridge bad. Maybe
I'd say high D.
Yeah, D for the same reason Search for Tsunade is a D.
Yeah. Actually, I'd say it's a bit different reasons. It just seems like there's too many in-between things happening.
Yeah.
Like Tsunade wakes up, Kabuto sort of introduced with his bullshit sage power, or the Orochimaru power. And he's like, remember that jutsu back a million years ago and that can raise the dead? Yeah, I can do that. And he does it. And he brings back all the Akatsuki, which is sort of cool.
He doesn't just bring back all the Akatsuki, he brings in basically every villain. Actually, that's probably going to get...
That's towards the end.
Yeah, that's towards the end, start of the next one.
Yeah, because he sends out Daidara to go pick up Naruto, and it's like, I'm going to keep blowing myself up.
Yeah, they end this arc on him reviving the Akatsuki members, previous Jinchuriki and Kage, and other famous shinobi, like Asuma.
Oh. There's also a bunch of other stuff.
And Zabuza and Haku come back. They get a pretty good scene in the next arc.
The next arc. That's the next arc. Let's talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah.
But this one definitely is it's a getting ready, but it's a weird getting ready thing. Like the rationale to put Naruto on that island makes sense because he's just it is what they're looking for. But the fact that they hide it from him is like, it's fucking weird. Like, if they told him, oh yeah, we're putting you on this island because there's a war going on and we need to protect you, it probably holds up a bit more than just hiding him. And then when he finds out the war's going on, he heads over. Like, it's, I don't like that.
Yeah, the reason I say it's kind of for the same reasons as Search for Tsunade is because this also kind of acts as a weird training arc for Naruto. Like, Search for Tsunade has a Rasengan, and then this has him learning about becoming friends with Kurama, and also Jinchuriki chakra, and the Beast Bomb.
Yeah, that's pretty cool as well, and how the Beast Bomb is sort of similar to a Rasengan and how it's formed. Yeah, and you're right. The fight between Guy and Kisame is fucking sick, and how like Kisame's like he's described as like, yeah, he was a true shinobi. He did what he had to do, and he did what he was told to do. And even at the end, how he's like, he bites off his tongue, and then he summons like a bunch of sharks to kill himself. It's fucking sick, just so that the information that he's hold gets out. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. God, Kisame and Guy aren't given enough credit for how sick they are.
Yeah. Old Guy gets a lot more credit later.
He does, actually, but he gets credit for a specific fight later. He doesn't get enough credit for how cool he is before that.
But they play him up to be like mega dumb. Like, even though he's like fought Kisame twice now, once in Naruto Part 1 and once as a body clone in the Kazekage arc, he's like, I don't know who you are. Like, they play him off as this fucking dumb shit, which like doesn't do him credit. Like, doesn't make sense. Like, and Kisame is, it's not like if he's an everyday person, he's literally fucking Blue Shark Man. Like, how can you forget?
He's very identifiable.
He literally got gills, my man. Oh, but yeah, high D at best. I think the Kisame Guy fight is probably the only thing saving it from being a fucking E.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're starting down in the end game. Only got 4 more arcs.
5 more. Oh no, 4 more. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Well, out of count, big fella. So this is it. For the sake of the listener at home, the arc we just did was the 4th Shinobi War countdown, and this is the 4th Shinobi War confrontation. This is essentially the start of the Shinobi War, when the war sort of kicks off, and it ends at big spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched Naruto, turn your thing off now, and I don't know why you're listening to this at all.
We've gone through quite a few arcs before giving that spoiler warning.
Yeah, maybe spoiler warning should be the title of the episode. But like, it ends with the real Madara Uchiha, like being revived and sort of showing up, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, isn't that guy with the mask? It's pretty fucking weird. So it's weird, that introduction, to be honest. It is very cool, but I don't really think it sort of is split over 2 arcs, so it seems like it takes a bit of time, but it doesn't. Like, it's resolved very soon. What do you think about this arc in general?
It's there's a lot of cool fights throughout it. There's a lot of cool character growth, and like having Zabuza and Haku run into Kakashi again, and kind of their souls are put at ease because of him, and without like going into a full-on fight. Like, they learn to let go and move on is pretty cool. There's also Asuma meeting the rest of his team, and his team having to deal with fighting him and like putting his soul at ease. There's a lot of good moments like those. But there's also a lot of stuff that I just don't give a shit about, like the Gold and Silver brothers.
The Ginkaku and Jinkaku, and in the dub they don't really emphasize the G, so it literally sounds like Ginkaku and Ginkaku. Like, the way they emphasize it, it's like, oh, these people really are the same character. But I know it because I read it. But it's fucking, those are the very weird characters, and it doesn't really translate that well. Or maybe this is just me being a dub watcher scrub. How the that I think it's Ginkaku, the G one, has that gourd thing that steals away people if they use the same word over and over again. Like they use their most spoken word, and then as Darui's sucked in, he changes his word because he thinks it or some bullshit. It doesn't really translate that well. Seems fucking weird.
Yeah.
That and it's sort of like bullshit. It's like, oh, like they can use Nine Tails chakra because they ate the Nine Tails.
Yeah, they like ate bits of its stomach.
Yeah. It is sort of cool how Naruto, like he's still learning to control the Nine Tails chakra, and then he's like, oh, I can send something over there. I'm gone.
Yeah.
See you later. It's still very much a Naruto's going to come and save the day because they have that section of this arc, for lack of a better word, a saga, if you would, of the White Zetsus changing into various other shinobi, and there's that whole, oh no, we're under attack, and then Naruto's like, haha, I can sense them, and then he just creates a million shadow clones and essentially saves the day.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
It's the start of the only Naruto could do this kind of shit. And it's not written in a way that's like, oh, like, wow, he's really good. It's just like, like now Naruto needs to be on the battlefield. Like, it's surely they could have done something else, but
we also kind of finally get the payoff to the crow that Itachi put into Naruto's stomach.
That's next season, big fella.
No, it's this one.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, must be so. Oh yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, apologies. Oh shit, I thought that was next season.
And
maybe I'm thinking of the fight that I'm getting confused of.
Yeah. And Itachi reveals his hand of like trying to play 5D chess by saying, "Oh yeah, so I knew Sasuke was going to implement my eyes into his. So whenever my Sharingan activated in front of you, that crow was going to disable it." And it's like,
yeah.
How far? Why is Itachi like this? Why are you writing Itachi like this? It's cool, but also, what the fuck? How far ahead? Like, were you just writing this in to have a out eventually? I'm pretty sure that's all it was.
It's pretty weird.
But I do like it being used for to revive Itachi rather than being used to disable Sasuke.
Yeah, the intention was shit. The end result's probably better than that. I do like the Nagato versus Itachi and Naruto fight. That's pretty cool. To see sort of Nagato using his Rinnegan bullshit is pretty sick, even if he is sort of dead and then come back to life.
Yeah. And they kind of have to do the talk no jutsu stuff again with him, though, in that, like, the war's happening, I guess you're not solving the world's pain. And he's got to talk no jutsu him into, no, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but then Kabuto's like, oh, nah, you guys are talking too much, bug ya. And turns Nagato and like to a blind fucking soldier, which is essentially what all the revived soldiers should be. They really shouldn't have free will, but for some reason, some have more free will than others. I will say another cool fight: Gaara versus his dad. Fucking sick. The gold dust. Oh, mwah. And how he uses the gold dust like sand as well. Mwah. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The Gaara versus his father is such a good fight.
Yeah, it's very cool. But yeah, it's another. There's a bunch of cool fights that happen on. There's a bit too much reliance on Naruto. And there's a lot more like little fights, and some of them are shit, some of them are not. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think bottom of B.
Yeah, I was either going to say bottom of B or top of C. But there, like the fight with like the Mizukage as well, and not the heel turn, the twist at the end where it's like, I'm the real Madara Uchiha. That man's an imposter. It's like, oh man, if he's Madara Uchiha, who's the other guy? That is fantastic.
I don't want to get into Madara yet because Madara is pivotal to the next arc. But
some might say too pivotal. But yeah, fantastic. it is fantastic. Another probably criticism as well that might make me want to drop it to top of C is that the fights in the anime don't really go for that long. It's half of it is a flashback to the person and who they were, and the other half is sort of fighting.
Yeah, that was the same in the manga. They only lasted a couple of chapters.
Yeah, but that's okay with the manga. Like it's obviously what they can't have them fighting because that's not really good reading after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, the war went for so fucking long as well.
Yeah, I expected the anime to do some more cool stuff with it, and they don't really. Like the fight between Osama and Ino Shikacho is probably like goes over 3 episodes and is 90% flashbacks and Choji crying and not being able to do it. Then he's like, "No, I'm okay." He goes Butterfly Super Saiyan, punches him, and that's it. Like, they could have done a lot more.
Yeah,
but then you can, and maybe this is sort of me reading between the lines as well. You can sort of tell in some parts they're intentionally slowing the pace down so they don't have to put in filler arcs in the anime. And maybe because I haven't read the manga in quite some time, I'm sort of just getting angry at the fact that they had to do all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not sure if you've watched it, but that Dragon Ball Kai, how it's Dragon Ball Z without any of the fillers, that is one of the best ways, I believe, to watch the entire Dragon Ball Z series. Like, it only goes for 100 and so episodes. There's no filler. There's no charging up for 20 fucking years. The fights are intense, but they don't last for too long.
It's much better paced.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they did that to sell more DVDs and to make money. And when they eventually do the same thing with Naruto, and Naruto Shippuden, will I pay money for it? A fucking course not. I'll pirate it like a normal human being. But that will be the way to watch this arc, and the pacing is probably what's going to make me drop it. But I'm going to heavily make you consider dropping it to top of C.
Yeah, I'll put it to top of C. I think
Fuck you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were going to say no.
No, I'll let you have that.
Yeah, all right. Anime watchers, we win again.
Only because I think Climax, if it ends up being in B, I don't think it will, but if it does end up being in B, then it makes the list look nicer.
You and your nicer. Okay, well, let's start. So the first part of the Shinobi War is Countdown. The part we just spoke about is called Confrontation, and the third part is Climax.
Climax is a lot better. A lot better.
Really makes you think, doesn't it? It goes for a fucking long time as well.
It does. There's so much stuff in this arc.
Yeah, it's actually fucking shit ton of stuff.
I mean, we'll get into what it covers, but yeah, it
goes from episode 322 to 375. That is nearly 50 episodes. And maybe once again, anime viewer here, let's go. There is probably a big pacing problem in this as well, especially in the Sasuke Itachi versus Kabuto fight. There's a shit ton of flashbacks in that. There's probably a good 5 to 6 episodes in that you could just cut out and there's nothing of value.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe 2 chapters of flashback to explain Kabuto's backstory.
Yeah. Kabuto's backstory I thought was pretty mid, to be honest.
It's just another character done again. I think it was Nagato done again, but he was by himself rather than being in a trio.
Yeah, pretty much. It's tale as old as time. Or it could even be a Naruto story. He was alone, essentially, and it is what it is. If he found friends, would he be all right? Probably not. But yeah, and this also... Okay, so this season starts from...
Madara versus the Kage.
Not versing the Kage. To call that anything less than a fucking massacre is...
Yeah, no, you're right. He literally drops a meteorite. They stop it, and he drops a second meteorite on top of that first one.
Yeah, and he drops like a bunch more, and he's like, you know what? It's 5 against 1. You know what? I'm going to use Shadow Clones, so it's 5 against 1 5 times.
I fucking love Madara. Like, he comes in... He comes in like as a spectacle, and he stays that way the entire time.
Yeah, there is like there is a bit where it's fucking comical that he's just, oh man, someone really is strong. Like this is fucked.
There's a meme about him being so fucking strong.
Which version of Madara Uchiha? Madara Uchiha revived with the Edo Tensei with the Ten Tails Jinchuriki and the chakra from the Sage of the Sixth Pass. Yeah, those are fucking always fucking shit. Could he beat Superman? Maybe. That is cool though. Seeing the 5 Kage join together to defeat, try to stand up against Madara, and then not only does he push back, he fucking pushes back hard, and they lose. Like, don't forget, they get flogged.
Yeah, they're absolutely devastated.
Yeah, it's like oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you guys. Star wipe. Oh fuck, they're all down.
I feel like I know it's impossible because they all live, but I feel like this is probably me just inserting a memory, but I thought one of them was cut in half after the fight was done in the manga.
Tsunade's pretty fucked.
Tsunade was fucked hard.
Yeah, no, I think she is cut in half, and literally it's like a Katsuya, that slug thing she summoned. She pretty much says, "Hey, can you put both my meaty back together?"
That's probably what it was. I don't remember how she got it back together, but she was in half when the fight was done.
Yeah, it was, man, they get logged. Like Anuki loses like an arm and an eye or something.
Yeah, and he is like one of the strongest people we've seen up to this point, and he's absolutely mauled.
Yeah, it's so fucking. As much as I like, it's the good guys losing, which is very uncommon for something like this. Even though there is a big speech about, like, so Naruto's at this battlefield. Naruto knows this is going on, and then Tsunade's pretty much like, you know what, Naruto, we don't need you here. Go home, pack your stuff up, and go home early. And then so he leaves, and they get flogged. It's very funny. Yeah, but that's only like one part of the. Well, that's how the arc starts. Very strong, and then it goes into the showdown with
the Jinchuriki fight.
Yeah, the Jinchuriki fight, and it's who the guy who said he was Madara Uchiha, the masked man. It's up against him, and it's like, who the fuck are you, man? And why did you bring back the Jinchuriki, implant all the tailed beasts in them, and then give them a Sharingan and a Rinnegan? How fucking wild is that? Oh
yeah, I forgot they all have the eyes as well.
Yeah.
God, they got super buffed.
Yeah, it's another 6 Paths of Pain bullshit, but it's even more bullshit because whereas the original 6 Paths of Pain and Nagato had obvious chakra receivers, like mega piercings in their face and that, these ones have like one of them, I think it's the 2 tails or the 3 tails has it like under, like the chakra rod like under her boobs, and that's obviously to be there funny. One of them's got it in the back of his neck. Like, they're in very hard to see places, and I think that's fucking horseshit. Like, how come he gets away with it? But it is very cool. We get a bit more the dialogue between, because of magic, Naruto can obviously communicate with the other tailed beasts, which sort of starts to show the friendship between him and the nine-tailed fox. We learn their name, and we learn the other names of the tailed beasts.
Yeah, and all the other tailed beasts is like, oh, he domesticated 9 tails? He must be all right then.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. But then after that fight, that fight I didn't really think completes here. It just sort of gets to a point where it's like, oh, we can't really do anything more here because he needs to take all the Jinchuriki out, and he can't really do that. He gets fucking very close. But then there's sort of, while that's going on, it's star wipe to Sasuke meeting Itachi, them sort of having a weird D&M type of thing. And then Kabuto going, like, having a seizure and being like, no, fuck you, I'm going to kill all you. You don't understand my pain. And then some more. We do get his backstory, and there is a bit more, not explanation, but it sort of shows how he sort of was raised on a battlefield, and he's sad, and then how he takes Orochimaru into his body, and then he learns Sage Mode, because Sage Mode is not just for frogs, it's for fucking snakes too, apparently, which is pretty cool.
If you can summon the animal, I think it makes sense to be able to also have a Sage Mode with that animal.
Yeah, so, and this is like I wouldn't call it a plot hole, but it's a big fucking inconsistency. So Sasuke can summon snakes. And we know there's a Sage Mode around snakes. Naruto can summon frogs, and we know he can turn into Sage mode. And Sakurai can summon Katsuya, but we don't know if there's a Sage mode with that. So once again, the female characters get fucking nothing.
Yeah. But it's okay. She'll have a moment soon. It's such a stupid moment.
Yeah.
But that's not for another couple of arcs.
Yeah, we've only got 3 left. But
yeah, and then after the flashbacks, we get the end of the fight and Kabuto getting caught in the infinite Izanami, which Itachi says you're stuck in this loop until you become a better person, basically.
Yeah, until you come to the term with yourself or some bullshit. It's that I remember reading that in the manga, and I was getting it repeats the same panels over 3 or 4 pages, and I literally thought I was having a stroke.
Yeah, same.
But and then it's oh no, he's actually stuck in a loop. How funny is that? And it's yeah, all right, is it funny? He's just sort of standing there wigging out, and then
he plays it straight for a little bit, and it's it takes 3 or 4 loops before he's wait a second, I've lost this same horn over and over again. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm wigging out. Yeah, and then because God forbid we introduce some new characters, Sasuke uses Kabuto as a base to revive Orochimaru, because God forbid Orochimaru stay dead for longer than fucking 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, but speaking of which, this is a weird cop out for that as well, because we didn't mention it in the Sasuke versus Itachi fight, but Orochimaru comes out of Sasuke in that, and Itachi uses his Susanoo's sword to imprison his soul inside it.
Yeah.
And he does the same thing to Nagato. Right. They both get it rough, and there's no coming back for Nagato, but Orochimaru, I guess, gets split off into multiple people now.
Yeah, maybe I saw it at a meme one time. It's Orochimaru is like Voldemort. No matter what, if you kill him, he'll just come back through some other bullshit soul stuff.
Yeah.
And it's weird having Orochimaru come back, because he comes back and he's I could see everything through Kabuto. You don't need to explain anything to me.
In fact, I got a good idea on how to play about this war. Follow me.
Yeah, it's let's go do some stuff. So then they go off, and it's fucking weird as shit.
He essentially has a weird base turn, and it's weird to have the most vile, evil character in this series become...
It's not good. He's not good. He's passive.
He's a pacifist now. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's I'm just gonna follow. I think in the dub anyway, his quote is, "I'm just gonna follow Sasuke's wind."
Yeah, I think that's how it got translated in the manga as well. He's just going to follow Sasuke, because if he doesn't, he's just going to get killed again.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, and then the arc sort of ends up with some more fighting with the Masked Man, and then Kakashi's wait a minute. He can move space. I can move space. And then it's revealed that... Did we talk about Kakashi Gaten? I don't think so.
No, we didn't. It got skipped over because it wasn't on this list.
Right. Oh, well. It's mid anyway. But yeah, so it turns out the Masked Man is none other than Kakashi's previous companion, Obito Uchiha, which is pretty weird because he was crushed under a bunch of rocks.
I'm just going to send this picture. I will insert it in the podcast video later. But this is basically everyone's reaction to Obito's revelation.
Hang on, it's loading. Oh yeah, that's right. He's got that fucking hole in his heart. Dumb sack of shit.
I just fucking love that picture.
Shit, yeah, and
it wasn't even a good revelation, because from day one of because I think the Kakashi Gaiden happened before Toby's reveal, or maybe it was right after.
Pretty much it happened after Dry the Gallant, or just before, I think. Yeah,
so you just go Toby, Obito, it's the same thing, but one of the O's removed. It's going the big reveal is going to be Toby is Obito, and that was the big thing the entire time that Toby existed, and that was it. It was just plain as day.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good twist.
Yeah, I think it's a big fucking cop out. It's like oh god forbid we introduce a new character. Like it's like I'll give him credit, sort of. There's like a throwaway line that Madara says to Toby Obito when they first meet. It was like, oh yeah, you were crushed by rocks, but it looked like your body passed right through it, which is like, oh okay, so maybe he awakens his Mangekyo, then the bullshit Sharingan shit again that made him pass through it. I don't know.
But I think they also say that half of his body that was crushed got replaced with white Zetsu pieces.
Yeah, they did. And that's sort of why he's still alive and why half his body is white. Or like a pale white. Yeah, and then the arc pretty much ends up with the revival of the Ten Tails.
There's the big Neji dies scene.
Is that in this scene?
Yep, that's this arc.
Oh shit, man! This fucking guy goes fucking ever.
Yeah, this is all before the Ten Tails get summoned.
Oh yeah, it is too. Yeah. Oh.
There's a lot that goes on here. Sasuke and Orochimaru get to Konoha, where they go underground, split open the Shinigami's stomach to release all of the previous Hokage souls from it.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Something that wasn't in either version, but I really wish happens, was that I really wish that Orochimaru's arms also flopped out of its stomach.
Yeah, that would have been very funny. Yeah. Yeah, it does sort of seem like, because it's literally, it does seem like it's a weird wig out thing. It's like, oh, cool, release the souls, we can resummon them with the Edo Tensei. And then it's like, because
this goes back to the Konoha Crush
arc, it does.
Where he tried to summon this first, second, and fourth, but the fourth failed, and we thought, oh, it might have been because Hiruzen interrupted the coffin being raised. Yeah. But no, it's because his soul was stuck in the Shinigami, so it failed on him.
Yeah. So it does become another Sasuke wants to talk and see what he wants to do. And then
I love Hashirama in this. He's so jovial and like not optimistic, just positive.
Yeah, positive. And you got Toby Rama, who's a fucking mega racist.
Yeah, fucking the Uchiha. Everything wrong with the world is the Uchiha, and he's. Let's be fair, he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong, not in the fucking slightest. And we do get a bit of our backstory about Madara and Hashirama here as well, about how they sort of came together as friends and then were rivals and then sort of opposite clan members.
And they built Konoha together, and then Madara left.
Yeah, he looked like he went fucking mad, angry. But yeah, overall, what do you reckon?
I don't. I'm going to do B. I feel this is a gradual increase for these war arcs, and the Ten Tails will probably, calling my shot, I'm probably going to call Ten Tails being an A. So I think this goes into B.
Interesting. I would have said it's a C. There's just a lot of like fluff.
See, I feel that way about confrontation. I feel like Climax has a lot more important fights going on throughout it. Yeah. And that gives it that buff.
That's very true. That is very true, actually. I also don't like here how it's another Naruto, you got to share your chakra with everyone, and he just keeps doing it, bugging forever.
Yeah, I kind of like the moment. I kind of like the moment of the entire Shinobi allied forces all having the one tail cloak around them.
Yeah, that is cool. It's Naruto is Jesus at this point though. Like, there's nothing he can't do. Like, it's how many Shinobi are there? Like a fucking quadrillion, and he's like, "Nah, I can give you all like a lot of my chakra." And then you can sort of fight on my level. And it's like, oh, okay, maybe you should keep that for yourself, big fella.
It's a weird thing when you go and decide to say, yeah, the Nine Tails has a near infinite amount of chakra.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what does near infinite constitute? And it's like, well, until we say he's tired, I guess.
Yeah, until someone else wants to have a turn. yeah. And then
I'd
the
say
arc ends.
I'd say we put it above Land of Wave, but underneath Immortals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I fully agree with you, but I can respect enough your decision to not say a couple of slurs.
No, that's all I ask. I don't want us being cancelled yet.
Yeah, and there is like a sort of a big dramatic moment between Obito and Kakashi, and then Obito's like, "Nah, peace out. I'm the Ten Tails Jinchuriki now." Which
that happens this next arc.
No, it's the end of this arc, my good friend.
I think it's actually like that's the handoff point. He becomes it, and then it starts the next arc.
Yeah, like the next arc. So what is the next arc?
Before we get into that, I guess we should also mention the cop out of now that the Hokage are here. The fourth Hokage has half of the Nine Tails in him.
Absolute fucking horseshit. Fucking horseshit.
So they have this moment of the Nine Tails gets ripped out of Naruto, and he's about to die because of having the Jinchuriki ripped out of him, like Gaara did earlier. And he survives because his now dead father puts half of the his half of the Nine Tails into Naruto.
Yeah, well, it's in this arc, yeah. And for all you playing at home, this arc is called "The Birth of the Ten Tails Jinchuriki." Very interesting kind of stuff here, though. This essentially starts with Obito being the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, and ends with another big spoiler alert. Madara succeeding, becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki from Obito, and setting the infinite Tsukiyomi, however you pronounce that, the infinite dream upon the world. Essentially, they've won.
And then it starts a huge filler season.
And 40 episodes or 60 episodes or something, and I fucking skipped all of them.
Good. As you should.
Yeah, you fucking should. Okay, so what do you think? I'm conscious that the last arc, we literally just fell into a retelling of that, and I don't really want to do that again. There are some cool moments in here, but what do you feel? What's the vibe? Without retelling the story?
The vibe is I like this one a lot. I think the two main fights, I guess, fight against Obito and then fight against Madara, are really well done. The Madara betrayal on Obito is great, and so he takes the power for himself. And Guy puts on such a good show against Madara in this arc. I absolutely love their fight and how it caps off with Guy basically dead and Madara like in pieces, still repairing himself. And he's got like this frantic, sadistic smile on his face. Like, I absolutely love fighting this guy. You're the first person to make me feel alive since I've come back. Who the fuck are you? I need more of this.
Yeah, it literally fucking kicks your shit out of him. It's fucking great. I don't think the anime does this fight justice because it splits it up into two parts, and the middle part is Guy's history, and that sort of goes on for a bit longer than what you'd like. It goes for like 2 or 3 episodes.
It's fantastic in the manga and even better in the Storm 4.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fantastic. It's probably one. If the anime had done the fight scene well, and I don't know why they fucking didn't, it'd probably be like same level as like the Lee versus Gaara fight, but they didn't. They did it fucking shit. And it definitely feels like he does like 4 or 5 attacks and that's it. Like he wasn't like punching around. It's unfortunate, but like as a fight as a whole, it is pretty cool. And it's literally like I'm gonna kick the shit out of you, and he does.
Yeah,
it's fucking fantastic.
The only downside of that fight is that Naruto literally becomes Jesus and revives Guy after the fight's done.
Yeah, it's
This is also the arc that introduces the whole so Sasuke and Naruto are 2 sides of the same coin, and they're both just reincarnations of the Sage of 6 Paths, 2 kids who have just constantly been having this fight throughout generations. Madara and Hashirama were previous versions of them, and it's just been going on for hundreds of years. And it's like, that sucks. I don't like this whole Indra and
Asura.
Yeah, Asura and Indra plot point.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't need to be said like this. And after the stage of the sixth path, like, so Madara fatally stabs Sasuke and rips the nine tails out of Naruto, and then it looks like they're going to die. And then, of course, they don't, because the show's not called like Madara, it's called Naruto. And there is that sort of not flashback, but the internalized thing. And then when they wake up, they get new powers. Like Sasuke gets a Rinnegan. Naruto gets like a Sage of the Sixth Path weird cloak thing that can apparently just heal arms and heal eyes. Yeah, don't forget Sasuke gets Kakashi gets his eye ripped out by like Madara. In another classic Naruto, eyeballs just pop out quite easily.
Yeah.
And then
eyeballs are as replaceable as contact lenses.
Probably easier than that. Like they just unscrew like light bulbs. Yeah. And then Naruto comes back and he's like, "Oh shit, you're missing an eye, big fella." And he just touches him and he revives. Like he brings back the eye. It's like, oh, okay, we're doing growth bullshit now. Go save Neji, you piece of shit.
Too late. Neji had his time in the sun. He gave his farewell speech. He gets to die.
Yeah.
God, it feels weird to think of this entire war and the only body count for the heroes is Neji.
Yeah, that's I was going to say this like as probably as a comment on the whole, but this war, like, it shows so many like nameless shinobi like just get killed with like different explosions, or the world tree sucking them up, or the Ten Tails just wiping them out, or some other bullshit. And the only one of note is Neji.
Yeah, there's no severe ramifications. Even the Kage all survived this, and some of them are like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to retire now.
Yeah, I think Onoki loses an eye. Might Guy should have died, but then when Naruto magically comes back, he heals him. But he is in a wheelchair, from my understanding.
Yeah, he's basically paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah, you can kill off characters, and it was deserved. Like, we got a really big flashback. He beat the shit out of Madara, which nobody could push him as far as what Guy did.
Yeah,
no
one put a dent in him. The Guy did better than the combined might of the 5 Kage.
He did better than fucking Naruto and Sasuke. Like, don't forget that. Like,
he did better than the Tailed Beast. All the Tailed Beasts were attacking him at the same time.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, but what do you reckon?
Okay, yeah, now that we're thinking about it and actually discussing it, it's not going to go into A. Maybe
it's top B. It's top of B.
Yeah, top of B. Mostly
it's only for the
Guy fights.
Yeah. Oh, that plus when Sasuke and Naruto combine their Susanoo Nine-Tailed Fox.
Yeah, that's such a sick combination form.
It's very, very, very sick. Yeah, the heel turn or the bigger heel turn from Madara to Obito is pretty cool. It's also pretty cool as well that he actually succeeds. Like, we can't forget that. Like, he literally...
Yeah, Madara won.
Yeah, he won. Like, that was it. Like, it was only because of, like, bullshit. Oh, no, the light doesn't reach us under my Susanoo that we can survive. Like, they won for all intents and purposes. But, yeah. Like, and that's probably another point in its favor. It isn't. But it is until the next thing. But yeah,
and then we immediately end this arc by jumping the shark.
One more time, big fella.
We immediately end this arc by jumping the shark for the next one.
Yeah, what do you mean by jumping the shark? Kisame's dead. Gotcha.
Okay, fair play. No, Madara wins, and then it's revealed, actually, no, Zetsu was playing the long game, and Madara is going to turn into an alien woman now. God, I didn't like the Kaguya twist at all, and it feels like this only happened because Madara was unbeatable. Like we said, Madara won. There was no way to beat him at this point.
Yeah, like, realistically...
He was too powerful.
There's probably like a weird alternate parallel universe where Kishimoto's like, you know what, fuck him, and then essentially just put the pen down. Madara won, all the best, but of course they can't do that. I hate the Kaguya heel turn. She's sort of referenced in a couple of things before. Like she's mentioned,
I think it's
she's not
all
really explored.
mentioned in that last arc, though. She only starts getting built up during the birth of the Ten Tails arc.
Yeah, but not like in a big sort of way. Like they spend so much more time explaining how Sasuke and Naruto, Indra and Ashura are than they do.
It's all from that point on that they start doing it.
Yeah, and she still only mentioned it's like, oh, my mother's the mother of all chakra. She grew a fruit, etc., etc. And it's more on the focus of Naruto and Sasuke, and then it's like, oh no, here she is. She's back.
And she's out for revenge. She wants all of the chakra back for herself.
Yeah. The fight is pretty cool.
The fight's okay. Maybe the anime does better on the fight than the manga did.
It feels like it goes for like a while, and it's a bit too much to keep track of. The absolute. And don't forget, like at this stage, it's Team 7 once again. Kakashi and Sakura are there for fucking whatever reason.
Obito also sticks around to help with this fight.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. There's that fucking bullshit where Kakashi gets both Sharingan in his eyes from like some. I can't remember, but it seems like magic. Yeah, he gets Sharingan in both eyes with the Mangekyo and a Susanoo, and then it kind of fades away after a while. But it seems like something that's like unnecessary. Like you could take that Obito Kakashi scene out. Like there's sort of probably there is a little bit they can contribute to, but if you can take that whole part out, nothing really changes. Like they don't really make a lasting impact. I sort of do understand the complete 180 of Obito, and now he's good, and I wish I didn't meet Madara. I wish I didn't. Blah 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 blah. Well, you did. Shut the fuck up. Wham. Yeah, and I'm with you. The anime doesn't really do it that much justice either. The fight with Kaguya, it shouldn't have happened.
It's literally just there so that they can have a way to defeat Madara because Kishimoto wrote him too powerful.
But like, don't forget, like Sasuke and Naruto got a mega power up. Like.
They basically became Jesuses of Ninja Jesuses. It's just that Ninja Jesus can't compare to Ninja God. Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely a way to whatever. What do I care? I'm not a writer. It's already there. I don't. Yeah.
They had the sealing technique as well, which is how they end up beating Kaguya.
Yeah. But they could have done the same thing with Madara. Whatever.
Yeah.
They could have done something. Like they could have still had the infinite Tsukiyomi go on, but then it sort of like shuts off or something, and then have them fight Madara. So they could have done something. Yeah, but yeah, the fight with Kaguya takes place.
And that's half this arc.
Yeah, that's half the arc. Naruto says farewell to Minato, which I think is quite a touching thing, as like the Edo Tensei sort of fades.
Yeah, there's also the Madara and Hashirama scene where they're having their dying words together, basically.
I wasn't a fan of that. Like, it humanizes Madara too much. Don't forget he's big shit.
He is. But he's such a lovable piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then the second part is the Naruto and Sasuke's last battle. Thoughts? What do you think about this fight specifically?
This fight's okay. It doesn't live up to the first one.
Shut up.
This is speaking from a manga side. This is speaking from a manga side.
Yeah.
The manga side, it's just fine. The anime does it so much better than the manga did, and Storm 4 does it even better than that.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking fantastic. It's the fight of the series. It's Sasuke's motivations are still shit. Oh, I'm going to be the Hokage, etc., etc.
Oh, okay. So he says he's going to become Hokage in one of the other arcs when he comes for the save. And this one is like, actually, I'm just going to burn down the entire ninja world now that everyone's trapped in the infinite Tsukuyomi.
Yeah,
I'm going to find the Kage. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to start a revolution.
Yeah. And you can sort of see where he's coming from. He wants to start again. There's probably some aspect of that, but then at the same time, it's Naruto wants to do the status quo, Sasuke wants to do the revolution. Oh, of course, the status quo is going to win. Tale as old as time. The fight is really good, very well done in the anime. There's probably a little bit too much back and forth for me, but I'm just not a big fan of flashbacks. But
Naruto relies on the flashbacks way too much.
And we can't forget as well with the anime, it's a big pacing thing.
Yeah.
They're doing it week by week, and because they're doing it week by week, the animation quality fails and they catch up to the manga, and then it's blah, blah, blah.
And then it's really, back to filler because we're caught up.
And there's no fucking way they'd get away with a filler arc when this is at this kind of stage.
That's why I think that's why they did the 60 episodes for the Infinite Tsukuyomi one, because they caught up. Yeah. They needed to give Kishimoto a lot of time to finish up, and I think in that 60 weeks he did finish the manga. Yeah,
definitely, and it sort of gave it a bit more pacing, a bit more space as well, so they didn't have to keep putting in padding. Like there isn't as much padding in this fight as there was, or in this arc as a whole, than there were in probably the last two. Which is it's good. It flows. It's a lot better. But it really, watching this back over the last year or two has really cemented that the old way of doing anime with filler arcs and shitty pacing is really, really bad. And I can sort of understand
that's why I've been really appreciating My Hero doing a season a year.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. It's My Hero.
You get maybe 1 or 2 filler episodes in that year. But
it's not even filler episodes. They're recap episodes.
Yeah.
Or I remember because it happened 4 or 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, cool. I really appreciate that.
Reintroduce all the characters and what they've been what their big achievements are.
And I do like how My Hero. It sort of gets annoying after a bit. How when they reintroduce a character in the season, they're like, oh, hey, this is their power.
Yeah, this is their quirk and what it does.
Yeah, don't forget. And Demon Slayer. Oh, Demon Slayer comes out soon. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, anyway, this fight is really cool. I do love how the Chidori, the final Chidori and the Rasengan blow the hands off.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to end this fight.
Yeah, and then the way it ends up is that they have to use the other person's hand to release the infinite Tsukuyomi and bring everybody back.
Yeah,
it is very, very cool. I love it. Fantastic. I'm not saying that.
And then Sasuke is forgiven of all his crimes by saying, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's... I was going to ignore that part. Fuck, I hate that. Send him to jail.
I'm actually just going to get that picture up so I can put it inside the video version, because it's such a fantastic way to cap off Sasuke's character arc.
Which picture?
Hold on, I'm trying to save it out now.
Let the man cook. I don't think he's a war criminal. He's a war criminal, don't forget.
He is a war criminal, but he's also the reason why the Infinite Tsukuyomi was released. He's a war criminal, but he's also a war hero.
Tale as old as time. Maybe Bush was the good guy in the end.
Anyway, the picture's sent.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. Yeah, don't forget in the 5 Kage Summit arc, Sasuke is a fucking big piece of shit.
Yeah, his biggest villainy moments are in that arc.
Yeah. But yeah, where does it end though? Where does it end this up with us?
I think this goes into C.
Sorry, I misheard.
No, wait, no. It's going to go into, I think B. I think the Naruto and Sasuke...
No, S tier, fuck you.
I think the Kaguya half brings us down too much.
Look, they could literally have given us 30 episodes of Naruto and Sasuke making out, but that fight towards the end... That would have
been better than the Kaguya stuff.
Yeah, all right, maybe. Maybe for you, big fella. All right, I'll concede that it's not high S tier, it's low S tier. It's below the Chunin, maybe bottom of the S tier. But to say it's anything less than an S tier Fundamentally disagree. I'm inside your walls and I will kill you while you sleep.
No, I think if I'm going to lean anywhere on letting it go high, I want it below Tale of Jiraiya the Gallant at the very least. Well, at the highest it can go. I think Kaguya hurts this way too much. She's such a jump the shark moment. She comes out of nowhere so they have an ability to kill off Madara, and it's such a shit way to cap off the war. But the Naruto and Sasuke fight does deserve credit for being incredible.
Yeah. Maybe I am being, I don't know, man. It's so fucking sick. Even the fight with Kaguya is pretty sick. Like, say all the magic bullshit that she does. Like, oh, I'm teleporting you to a lava area. Ooh.
Yeah, I just don't like her as a character. And she's not even a character. She's just an entity that exists. She's such a awful final villain.
And it is a bullshit entity as well. It's literally the Final Fantasy, you have to fight God type of JRPG final boss. But then at the same time, it's, we've never met this character before. I do not care. Like,
they only just started building her up in the last 20 episodes or 20 chapters.
Yeah. So I think it was a couple of, like, not fan theories, but like I could improve Naruto by doing this. Like, someone said that if the Sage of the Six Paths went evil instead of Kaguya, it would have been much better.
Yeah, because the Sage of the Six Paths is this like big holy entity that throughout the entire series, he's been a legend throughout the entire thing. So having him be the final villain might have made sense.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. But then at the same time, like,
but essentially, Madara was hit the point of being, I am the new Sage of Six Paths.
Yeah. Look, you know what? I still know the Kaguya fight is fucking sick. The rationale for the fight is garbage.
Yeah, I just feel the rationale hurts it too much.
Look, it's a shonen anime. Sometimes you got to turn your mind off.
I don't know, because even some of the best shonen fights have a good reason for them. Like, the reason why Sasuke Recovery Mission is in S tier is because of how much the characters are invested in it. The reason why Pain's Assault is in S tier is because of how much the characters are invested. Same with the Chunin exams, how much it builds the characters. Kaguya coming out of nowhere and being in S tier, I think sullies that.
All right, you convinced me. Above Konoha Crush, though.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to. I was going to be fine as long as it didn't pass Jiraiya the Gallant. Jiraiya the Gallant is too fucking good to let Kaguya pass it up.
I'm still unsure about Konoha Crush. I think I should have argued more for it to go down, but I'll concede. I think I just don't like that fight because it. I don't know why. There's a bunch of stuff I just don't like about it. It just feels off. Doesn't feel like a Naruto fight for some reason, and I don't know why, but that's fine.
I think I like it because it's the show of what the peak was at that time. Like, it showed off what a Kage level fight could have been like, and in Shippuden the power levels get wackier. So
the power level in Shippuden is fucked.
Yeah, but in base Naruto, this is a Kage level fight, and it's incredible. It's the most spectacle. It's the biggest spectacle fights the series has up to that point. Yeah,
that's true. And with the whole bullshit with reviving the first and second Hokage, and the third Hokage is like, whoa. Also, this is a general Naruto point as well. So the fourth Hokage dies, that's fine. Why did they go back to the third Hokage? Was there no one good enough to be a fifth Hokage?
That's a good question. Sure. I just kind of assumed that there was there was no one else ready to take that mantle, so they had to. It was like a political decision. There's no one else ready to take that mantle, so they went back to the old power until they could find a suitable replacement. And no one wanted the job until the third Hokage died, and they're like, okay, Jiraiya doesn't want it. Let's try and track down Tsunade, I guess.
Yeah, can't use Jiraiya, can't use Orochimaru.
Yeah, because Jiraiya turns the role down, don't forget. They ask if he wants to be Hokage, and he's like, nah, I've got better things to do.
Yeah, but then like he goes to find Tsunade and she turns him down. And it's like, oh no, I can convince you. Very common. Anyway.
The very common story of a man putting a woman in her place.
At the head, what? On top of what? Wait a minute, big fella. She doesn't cook in this show. Another thing as well that you notice that literally probably in Shippuden, and maybe it's because it got more popular with kids, Tsunade's breast size takes quite a hit. Yeah, just thought
I didn't know that.
Comment. Oh, well, eyes are up here, big fella.
Clearly I'm looking at her eyes and you're looking at something else.
All right, and that brings us to the end of the tier list.
Oh, actually, no. There's a secret tier I want to throw in here real quick. I just want to hear your thoughts on this.
Here we go, fellas.
I'm not going to put it on the tier list because that involves too much work. But I want to throw Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage, and the Scarlet Spring into trash tier because they were fucking cowards and they didn't make Sarada Karen's daughter. They should have gone all the way and made Sakura as a cuck.
Look, I'll be honest with you, fella. I know 2 of the words you said right now. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so this was basically...
You know what? Let's not get... Like, it's fine. I don't want to get into it. Is that spin-off thing with Sasuke going on?
No, this was a short manga that they did where it was... For some reason, Sarada was like, I don't think Sakura is my mother. I don't have a lot in common with her. So she goes on like this secret mission. She finds a picture of Karin and she finds her umbilical cord in Karin's drawer. And she's like, maybe this...
What the fuck?
Maybe this woman is my mother.
Hang on, her umbilical cord?
Yeah.
What the... All right, I cut it off. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I've heard enough. Man, I thought this show was fucked. What the fuck, man?
It ends with the revelation that no, Sakura is actually Sarada's mother and they're cowards. Sakura should have been a cuck raising Sasuke and Karen's daughter.
Why does she have the umbilical cord, need I ask?
I don't remember the reason why. It's some medical thing.
Like an umbilical cord, that's fucked. Okay, well, on that note, that's it for today's episode of Fast Travel Lounge. Just to recap our tier list, for you Naruto files out there. At the S tier, we have the Sasuke recovery mission, Pain's Assault, and the Chunin exams, part 1. In the A tier, we've got the Tale of Jiraiya the Gallant, Kaguya Otsuki Strikes, the Konoha Crush, and the fated battle between brothers. At the B tier, we've got the Battle of the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, the Akatsuki Suffocation arc.
Suppression.
Suppression arc. It's a bit smaller than my
Immortals.
Screen, the Immortals arc, yeah. Hidan and Kakuzu.
Immortals is such a better name for that arc.
It is, yeah. The Fourth Shinobi War Climax and the Land of Waves. In the C tier, we've got the Fourth Shinobi War Confrontation, the 5 Kage Summit, and the Kazekage Rescue Mission. In D tier, we have Fourth Shinobi War Countdown, the Search for Tsunade, and the Itachi Pursuit Mission. And where it belongs, actually probably a bit higher than where it belongs in the E tier, the Tenchi Bridge Reconnaissance Mission. That is a shit arc. It's a lot of screaming. It's a lot of Orochimaru bullshit, and it deserves lower. But that's it. Any closing comments before I take us out, Seth? Any other animes people should watch?
I was actually going to ask you, because we did that quick middle recap of Naruto and how strong of a series that was, how do you think Shippuden compares to part 1?
Ooh. That is a very good question.
Because to me, while you gather your thoughts, I think Shippuden is a lot more rocky. There's a lot of peaks, but its valleys are also lower, and it's more inconsistent throughout than part 1 was.
Very, very true. And the things it tries to introduce don't really work all the time, but it doubles down on all that kind of bullshit. Like the bullshit Sharingan, like you don't have to make it.
Remember when Sharingan was, the Byakugan was supposed to be the rival to the Sharingan and just as strong?
Yeah. That's never talked about. Don't forget Kaguya has the Byakugan. in her eyes and the Sharingan in her forehead. So, fuck, make of that what you will. There is probably like the peaks and valleys in Shippuden are very extreme. Like when Shippuden's good, it's great. When it's shit, it's unwatchable. And I think it does. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The pacing of Shippuden is fucking atrocious. The first Naruto has the advantage of there is, I think, a total. So episodes 1 to 135 are the main sort of episodes before it goes into 100 episodes of filler. Yeah,
there's a couple of filler arcs in there, but it's not as much.
There's a total of like 10 or 12 filler episodes. And even then, they're not too bad. And a couple of like extensions of of just like episodes and stuff. But on the whole, I reckon, actually, now that I think about it, I reckon Naruto is higher than Shippuden overall. Like, there's just a very rocky start. Like, probably the first 5 episodes of Naruto are the worst.
Definitely.
It definitely picks up when the Land of Waves arcs starts getting into it and the tuning exam gets underway. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, look at our tier list. We got the Land of Waves as a B tier and then the Kazekage Rescue as a C tier. Shippuden came in at a lower pace, lower overall quality than Naruto came running in at.
Yeah, and the highest tier we got here, the Sasuke Recovery Mission, I'd still probably put that, like if I had to rank arcs of different animes, I'd probably put that up there. Definitely top 5.
Sasuke Recovery Mission is one of the better in Shonen.
Yeah, anime kino, as they say. Well, all right, let's round it out. If you've been inspired to watch/read/play the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games, those are fantastic retellings of the series. Very simple combat.
They're so good. They improve on some of the fights drastically, but there's other fights that suffer because they're not cinematic quality. They're just bang, 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 smack the Naruto toys together.
Yeah, and they do frequently go on sale. 2, 3, and 4 usually come together as a package, and even
don't forget there's that new package coming out soon that combines all the games.
Yeah, that's not going to be on sale for a while. And then 2, 3, and 4 are it's the same fucking game. So there's no need to spend a lot of money. You can get the package, all 3 games for like less than $10. And it's 3 games for the price of like a $10 game. Mwah. Mwah. Fantastic. You love to see it. But yeah, if you've been inspired to interact with the Naruto media, please feel free to write in and thank us and tell us your favorite arc. Maybe you think because you were dropped on the head as a baby that the Search for Tsunade arc is actually good. That's between you and God, big fella. But
you know what? Tell me if you think it's good. Maybe I'll hear you out.
Maybe you shouldn't. Well, if you do want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at Gmail at fasttravellounge@gmail.com, at Twitter at fasttravellounge. Missing one of the L's. The Tenchi Bridge arc took that L, so it's only one L there. And we've got some. If our Instagram social media manager ever gets around to it, we'll be starting to post some funny memes up there. But let us cook on that. It's probably Fast Travel Lounge or FTL or something like that. But please feel free to get in touch. If you've been watching on YouTube, feel free to ring that like and smash that subscribe button. And even if you hate anime, maybe you listen to the wrong podcast. Maybe you recommend us to a friend that does like anime. But I'm pretty sure Pat's still on leave next week, so we might do another tier list. So if anybody wants to write in about another tier list we should do, give us a buzz. These episodes, I don't want to do them, but I do enjoy having done them, if that makes sense. It's like going for a run. I'm having a lot of fun talking about Naruto. Maybe we should do Bleach next, Seth. What do you reckon?
I cannot do Bleach. I haven't gone past the Soul Society arc.
Whew. Yeah, man. Let's let that thought hang there. So, once again, we've been Fast Travel Lounge. Thank you very much for listening. And we'll check in with you next week.
Happy birthday, Naruto swing scene. I hope we'll never see you again.